Minister English, you're staying with us for this commencement matter. Thank you very much. Sandra, you have 4 minutes.
I don't know that I'll need to take the 4 minutes. So Ollie, you could have done a few more congratulations there if you had wanted to, because the question, Minister, is pretty succinct in terms of what it's trying to achieve. So I'm looking forward to hearing your response, and then we could perhaps engage based on the detail of that response. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator, as well. And I'm glad to take this debate on behalf of Minister Simon Coveney, who couldn't be here today because they're at Cabinet. But also, again, it's an important area to raise here. It's important because I think there's been a big focus around passports probably for the last year, but certainly in the last 4 or 5 months, a lot of pressure on the system as well. All online applications are processed in the same way, and this includes all applications from throughout Ireland, north or south. Renewal applications, because citizenship has already been established, are processed generally within the same turnaround time of 10 working days for adult renewals and 15 working days for child or complex renewals, regardless of where the application is made. Therefore, there was no difference in processing time for renewal applications between those applicants from addresses in Northern Ireland or in the state. First-time applications are more complex, regardless of where you're from, due to the increased complexity around the documentation required to confirm the person's identity and entitlement to citizenship. First-time applicants resident within the state must have their identity and consent forms witnessed by a member of An Garda Síochána. A log of such applications is maintained by An Garda Síochána, which allows for a streamlined verification process. First-time passport applications resident outside the state, including Northern Ireland, can avail of a broad range of witnesses for this purpose. The witnessing of these forms is a vital element of the identity verification process for the Passport Service, as it provides initial assurance that the person in the photograph is the same person who submitted the passport application form. It's very, really important that we get that right. In the case of an application for a minor, the witnessing of this form provides evidence that guardians give consent for a passport to be issued to the child. In order to protect the rights of parents or guardians and children, it is important that forms are fully verified by the Passport Service by contacting the witness directly. And I think that bit is the key here. It's really, really important, because you'd be surprised what applications that come in without the consent of parents and for on the sign there as well. So that part of the work is taken very, very seriously to make sure we get it right. First-time applicants from outside the state, including Northern Ireland, can also be more complex due to the variety of documentation received from other jurisdictions. Officers processing these applications must therefore be highly skilled and experienced. The Passport Service takes its responsibility to protect the integrity of the Irish passport very seriously. The Irish passport has a strong international reputation due to the strength of the security features within the passport book and the robust processes involved in its issuance. The Irish passport was recently ranked 5th in the Henley Global Passport Index, as it provides our citizens with visa-free access to 187 countries. Accordingly, a rigorous analysis process is in place to verify the identity and citizenship status of first-time applicants. As a result, processing time for these applications can take a little bit longer. The Passport Service continues to see an increasing demand for passports from citizens in Northern Ireland, so a dedicated team has been deployed to focus solely on first-time applications from applicants resident in Northern Ireland, with a view to significantly improving the turnaround times for these more complex applications. In the last 4 weeks, the Passport Service issued an average of almost 6,000 passports a day, and considerable improvements are being seen across the system. The Department of Foreign Affairs has made significant investment in the Passport Service since last year in order to enhance customer service. The Passport Service is confident that the increased resources that have been allocated will improve the service to all of our citizens, regardless of their place of residence, whether in Ireland or overseas.
You for that answer, and I want to begin just by again acknowledging and thanking the dedication and diligence of staff in the Passport Office. It's no doubt been a really difficult and trying time for them over the last number of years in particular. In terms of the detail of your answer, there's a couple of things there that are encouraging. I welcome the fact that there has been a dedicated team set up, which has been deployed to focus solely on first-time applications from the north. It's necessary because there has been a difficult and substantial backlog which needs cleared. I would also, Minister, while appreciating this isn't your brief per se, but you might relay to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, when we had a motion here in the Shannon moved by Fine Gael colleagues on the Passport Office and the difficulties facing it, I put it to the Minister that the dedicated hub, the Oireachtas helpline, should be made available to our MLA and MP colleagues in the north who deal equally with the same amount of applications as us. And my understanding, having spoken to some of my MP colleagues last week, they still don't have access to that hub. It would just be a major help to them in their day-to-day constituency work. You know yourself how problematic it can be, so a dedicated resource for them would be very welcome. Minister, I also take the point, and I'll finish on this, Caherly, that there is a different range of witnesses compared in the north compared to the Gardaí in the south. But if it is broad and if it is causing delays, I know I would be called quite regularly by the Passport Office to verify that I have witnessed an application, and that's fine. We need to protect the robustness and the security of passports. That I agree with that. But nevertheless, if it is causing a disparity, and it is causing a delay if someone puts in an application from Derry versus Donegal, and there is this kind of delay because of the nature of the witnesses, perhaps that's something that we need to look at in terms of how we would streamline and improve that service going forward. So there's a number of points there, Minister, which you may take on board and relay to your colleagues at Cabinet. Gormaigad.
I certainly will, Senator, and I'll bring it back to Minister Coveney and Minister Colin Brophy as well. I think the issue you make is fair in relation to extra resources and access to the hub for our political colleagues. And we'll certainly I'll raise that because that would make sense, because I know the applications are processing. The arrangements around witnesses, even in relation to down south with the Garda witness, there can be difficulty there tracking that witness as well. So that whole area has been looked at to try to see, can we improve it, can we streamline it. But I'm conscious that there's been a big effort in the Passport Office to try to deal with the volume of applications coming through over the last year, and the dedicated team to deal with applications from Northern Ireland should be of assistance and should help as well. But I certainly will bring back the issues you said. And again, the Department of Foreign Affairs has made an unprecedented investment in the Passport Service over the last 12 months. This investment in people and systems has had a considerable impact on the level of service being provided by the Passport Service. Over 720,000 passports have been issued to date in 2022. And just by way of comparison, a total of 634,000 passports were issued in the whole of 2021. So by mid-year, the Passport Service has already surpassed the total number of passports issued since last year. And we know the pressure they're under, because all of us in this House and on both of these houses are constantly probably dealing with passport queries to our offices every day of the week and trying to contact the Passport Service. And there's pressure on the whole system, but I think it is certainly responding, and the increased people involved in that and the systems are certainly great in helping as well. So while 2021 was an unusual year, figures in 2019, which was the previous busiest year before the pandemic, show that the Passport Service this year is outperforming 2019 by almost 20%. Over 570 staff have been assigned to the Passport Service since June 2021, with over 200 new staff assigned since May of this year alone. These recruitment efforts, coupled with the targeted deployment of staff to work on applications from Northern Ireland, will significantly impact the turnaround times for complex first-time applications, including those from our citizens resident in the North. So I hope that's of assistance to you, Senator.
Thank you for that, Minister, and thank you for raising that issue, Senator. I concur with you about opening the line, the helpline to MLAs and MPs. I know there was a communications campaign that was also run in the north, but of course we also know that we have calls in this House for a passport office in Belfast and in the northwest, and I think that would be very helpful as well. So maybe you might bring that one back as well. Thank you, Minister. Okay. So. At the end of the commencement matters, this House stands suspended until 11:30 a.m.